I'm Sean. It's your line. Dude. Try it again. I'm Sean. And that's Dennis. You're watching BooVille TV. Welcome back to BooVille TV. I'm here with Dennis, the silent. And today we're going to review, yay, Scary Monsters Magazine number 98. I'm happy for this and terrified at the same time because Dennis Draktenis has been hinting for several episodes or issues now that after issue 100, it may be the end of an era. If this magazine goes away, you have no idea how heartbroken I will be. This is one of the only horror magazines that I have to get every issue because it is full of wonderful classic goodness. Issue 98, which is this one, when you first open... the one thing about Scary Monsters that I absolutely love, and I have to do it every time I purchase the magazine, is hold it like this and go and smell. Because this is the only modern horror magazine that's still printed on pulp paper. It's all black and white except for the color. It is done in the classic Monster Mag style. He cuts no corners when it comes to producing a work of nostalgia. This issue is jammed packed. There is a whole section on Gamera. One of the columns that regularly are featured in the magazine is the Kaiju Corner, where it talks about kaiju films, so Godzilla or Gojira and Gamera and Mothra, all of the wonderful kaiju films. There's a whole section on Dracula becomes Bela Lugosi, and it's how Dracula went from Bram Stoker's novel to the stage to eventually the movie that Bela is best known for. There are some really interesting candid photos in this of Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster. Most of you have seen the one where he's drinking tea, but there's one of him holding a cup of tea, and you actually get to see how much weight Boris Karloff lost because of the makeup and everything. There's a subsection in this issue where it's talking about the Munsters comic book that only lasted for a short period of time, but it also talks about how Fred Gwynne, lamented the same fact that apparently Fred Gwynne drank buckets and buckets and buckets and buckets of lemonade while filming the Munsters because the makeup was just so hot and he was on the verge of heat exhaustion and heat stroke several times just simply because of the makeup. There are, as always, one of my favorite features in the whole magazine is the Cosmic Drive-In. And the Cosmic Drive-In section always gives the... it takes the old ads that you would see in the newspaper and recreates them. And not indeed recreates them, but I mean, it's a photocopy of original playbills and tokens and gimmicks that you would get from a drive-in theater. And for those of you youngsters out there, you never had the joy. And granted, even at my age, I remember it at the beginning of my teen years, and then that's when all the drive-ins sort of died, and that whole culture sort of died. So it was before my driving age that I remember actually going to the drive-in and, sitting for 4 movies. It starts at 6 p.m. and you get out of there at 1 or 2 in the morning, because in between the films they had, spook shows or things live on stage. But Cosmic Drive-In section of the magazine always fills me with happiness and nostalgia. This magazine, and I don't want to just specifically talk about this particular issue, because we are getting close to issue 100. And Dennis Tennis has said on multiple occasions recently that there will be an issue 100, but we're not really sure if there's going to be a 101. There was I don't really want to get into the legal, what was going on, but it was through no fault of Dennis's. And if Scary Monsters, or if Scary Monsters magazine goes away, a large contributor to what keeps creepy kids and monster movie fans and fans of classic horror connected, it is truly going to be a sad thing. And I know that we joke a lot here in the crypt, and this is not a joke. When and if this goes away, a huge portion of happiness for a lot of us creepy kids are literally going to be ripped out of our heart. I cannot say enough about this magazine. The issue 97 had a whole thing about Svengoolie in it. This magazine is a mainstay of us here in the crypt. Aubrey doesn't even, for the most part, she has to be in a mood for some of the classics. But one of the things is, you catch her often flipping through copies of this magazine. And if it goes away, I don't know. So yeah, hopefully Scary Monsters will be with us for a very, very long time to come. But if not, Mr. Tennis has done an amazing job keeping it going for almost 100 issues. And for a magazine nowadays, that's extremely difficult to do. We're not even going to rate the magazine because, as you know, it's beyond a 10 out of 10 skulls for those of us here in the crypt. And we will keep you informed of news with it. If you haven't checked out a copy, or you've never seen a copy before, go to your local Books A Million. At least here in our city and state, they're the only people that carry it. But if not, go to creepyclassics.com. You can not only order subscriptions at least until issue 100, but Mr. Dick Tennis also makes available a lot of rare classic horror DVDs and other merchandise, models and things like that for sale. So, Scary Monsters magazine, as always, is a treat. And issue 98, they just get better and better and better. I can't think of one bad issue of Scary Monsters magazine. And if if Dennis or Tennis actually watches this video, you have, from my heart, sir, thank you for what you have done for the Creepy Kid community. And I hope and pray that you will be able to continue doing this for another 100 episodes. I'm Sean. That's Dennis. No relation. And you've just been watching BooVille TV.